A prince betrayed his own brother. A queen vanished without a trace. And for over 1,000 years, this royal bloodline was haunted by misfortune, madness, and mystery. But was it really a curse? Or something far more terrifying? What if I told you that one decision, made in the dead of night, sealed the fate of an entire dynasty? Today, we journey deep into the past. Into a kingdom where kings died screaming, heirs vanished in fire, and a secret buried in blood refused to stay hidden. This is not a myth. This is history, with a shadow darker than fiction. The Golden Beginning. The curse begins not with darkness, but with triumph. In the 9th century, the House of Serath ruled over a vast and peaceful kingdom, Velmoria. King Alric the Wise had united the warring clans, brought prosperity through trade, and was beloved by his people. His sons, Elander and Cale, were trained as noble warriors, scholars, and leaders. But when Alric died suddenly, leaving no will, brother turned against brother. And that's when the curse was born. The betrayal that broke the crown. Elander, the elder, was meant to inherit the throne. But Cale, young, ambitious, and brilliant, could not accept that fate. In the stillness of midnight, he poisoned his brother. A silent death, but the crown fit poorly on a guilty head. The priests warned him. The blood you shed in shadow will echo in your line for 1,000 years. Cale laughed. But his firstborn would not survive infancy. His second would vanish at sea. His queen would burn alive in a tower struck by lightning. Was it punishment, or prophecy? Signs of a curse. The centuries that followed were marked by horror. Every generation of House Serath suffered. One king drowned in his own bath, his body found smiling. Another heard voices commanding him to murder his family. He obeyed. In 1271, the entire royal court was wiped out by a fire that burned for 3 days, with no known source. Commoners began whispering. The throne of Velmoria drinks blood. But despite everything, the bloodline survived. Barely. And then came the boy who would change everything. The Child of Light. In 1403, Prince Aaron was born during a meteor shower. The people called him the Child of Light. Aaron was different. He was kind, thoughtful, and deeply spiritual. He studied history, herbs, and languages, not war. At just 14, he publicly apologized for his ancestors' sins. At 17, he abolished the secret prisons beneath the palace. And by 20, he was king. Many believed he would end the curse. But in doing so, he uncovered a truth far worse. The hidden chamber. Deep beneath the royal castle, Aaron discovered a chamber sealed for centuries. Inside, he found scrolls written by Cale himself, confessions, rituals, warnings. One scroll revealed a blood pact. Cale had traded the soul of his line for power. A dark covenant with a forgotten god. And the terms? Until the bloodline breaks itself willingly, the shadow remains. Aaron was shattered. He now knew, to end the curse, he'd have to end the bloodline. But would he? The last choice. Aaron had one son. A child with laughter in his eyes and no idea of the doom that hunted his veins. The king stood at a crossroads. Let the curse continue, or sacrifice himself and his legacy. So, on the eve of his 30th birthday, Aaron made a choice. He wrote a decree disbanding the monarchy. Burned the scrolls. And vanished, into exile. His final words were carved into a single stone. Let no crown rest on cursed blood. Aftermath and echoes. Without a king, Velmoria changed. A council of scholars and farmers took charge. Wars ended. Harvests doubled. The curse, some say, lifted. Others believe Aaron broke the bloodline with his sacrifice. And yet, in villages across the land, children are still told to avoid the old palace ruins. Because sometimes, late at night, a flicker of firelight dances in the highest tower. And a figure watches, wearing a crown no longer claimed. Some historians argue the curse was a metaphor. A cycle of guilt, power, and fear passed down through generations. But whether you believe in magic or not, one truth remains. Pain repeats. Until someone is brave enough to break the pattern. And sometimes, that takes more courage than war. More wisdom than conquest. More strength than a sword. Aaron chose to lose everything, so others could live freely. Was that weakness, or greatness? We remember kings who conquered. But maybe we should remember those who walked away. So now I ask you. If your family's legacy was cursed, would you fight to protect it? Or break it to set others free? Maybe the most powerful stories are the ones no one dared to finish. But we just did. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere, the last king of Velmoria is finally at peace.